Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. And in this video we're going to talk to you to sleep. And I'm going to talk about random things until you go to sleep, or if you are not going to sleep, you can just scroll to another channel and watch YouTube before you go to bed. Because this is my first time trying to do that, and I'm not so sure about how it's going to be. Anyway, in today's talking to you to sleep, we're going to talk about something related to healthcare, because it's a thing that I can talk pretty much more than any other topics. So after you heard the topics, that makes you feel sleepy already, because we're gonna talk, and dig deep into some kind of informative about medical things. So the first thing that we're gonna talk today is about antibiotics, common cold from bacteria, and the cold from virus. So this day, talking about virus is really popular, especially for COVID-19, which is a virus, something that is really, really dangerous right now and all over the place. But we're not gonna talk about COVID, because I'm sure that you guys hear the news about it every single day. So yeah, if you want to check it out more about the information, you better check it on the news channels. But today we're gonna talk about the cold, that some kind of colds that you need antibiotics to treat, and another cold that is from the virus. It can go away after you take a lot of rest and drink a lot of warm water, or maybe just lemon juice. Maybe, yeah. There's no confirmed information about lemon juice cured the virus, but it's just because that you take a lot of rest, and the way that you just keep yourself warm, and basically just take a lot of rest. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the only thing that can help you, getting better from the virus cold. So anyway, what we're gonna talk is about antibiotics. So basically, people get confused a lot about when should they take the medicines, especially here in Thailand, because you can just go to the pharmacy store and get the antibiotics almost every single place. Yeah, if they are not the real pharmacists that sell you the drugs. So it really depends on what kind of store you go. So if you really want to buy some medicines, yeah, I would just suggest you to go to the pharmacy stores that are sold by by the pharmacist. So let's talk about the cold. So the common cold is a viral infection of your nose and throat. Basically it's from the upper respiratory tract, and is normally just harmless. So it might not feel well, you will feel oh, I've got some sore throat, I had my fever, and then I just runny nose. But these symptoms will be disappear within just 7 days. So normally it can be cured by themselves, and it will go away by itself after you took a lot of rest, and after you just have a lot of rest. So that's how it works. But people who are if they're sick and they have the common cold which caused by virus, they would think they have some severe symptoms, because in the first few days you will feel not good about yourself, you got severe headache and the fever and sore throat, and this one you can use the medicine to relieve the symptoms. And yeah, that's how it works. You don't need antibiotics for that. For some reason, people get confused, okay, if I have this kind of common cold, I have to take antibiotics. This is the thing that we concern the most in these days. People misuse the antibiotics. So let's see the symptoms that it can tell you if you have a common cold. So a common cold, like I told you, is a cold causing from virus. The signs and symptoms, can be vary from, person to person. And you might have this kind of symptoms, for example, runny nose, stuffy nose, sore throat, cough, congestion, slight body aches and mild headache, like not severe headache. Okay, sneezing, low grade fever, and sometimes you feel like you're like fatigued or malaise. So yeah, but these symptoms could be gone by themselves if you take a lot of rest. So don't worry about that. Unless if you want to go to a doctor, like if your temperature is higher than 38.5 degrees Celsius, or the fever, has been lasting for more than like 5 days, and you just feel like, okay, this is not good, like I cannot control the fever, and I just feel like so tired, like it's just like make you cough all the time. Like after you took the relief medicines, the reliever medicines, and it still didn't help you, and wheezing or shortness of breath. So that's when you should go to see a doctor. But if no other symptoms that I mentioned before happened or just occurred to you, you better just sleep at home and just take a lot of rest, drinking a lot of warm water, and yeah, that's it. Don't take a lot of medicines, unless you really need it, because the medicine might not just cure the symptoms, but it also can cause some problems for your kidney or maybe your liver. Yeah, so every single time that you decide to take a medicine, it also has a lot of side effects, because we cannot really make the medicine that only targets for the only organs these days. We might have, but basically you have to think like if the medicine go through your body, first I think it have to be dissolved in the stomach, and then it's gonna spread all over the place by running through the blood in your body, and that's called that the medicine go through the systemic system. So the blood run through all of our body, so that means like no matter what medicines that you take, it's gonna run through all over your body. And the liver, might be the first place that your medicines might have to be, destroyed or, like clear out from your body. And then it might go through kidneys or liver. It really depends on the drugs that you take. So make sure that every single time you just decide to take any vitamins or just, some medications or some herbal things like herbal medications, which is really popular this day, make sure that those are not harmful for your body. But I have to say that it's really hard to find something that is not harmful for your body unless if it's from the medicine, it always, gonna have some side effects. So be better to not taking any medicines unless you really need it, like, or you have, prescribed from the doctor or from the pharmacist. So yeah, that is it. So this is the first type of the cold. So the cold is from virus, and we call it common cold. And another thing that is wrong is we call it pharyngitis. So pharyngitis is a kind of cold or a fever that you have from the bacteria, that is caused by bacteria, and mostly it will have some tonsillitis or maybe pharyngitis. You will have a lot of symptoms that is quite different, which you can differentiate from the common cold, which is coughing. So if you have common cold, mostly you will cough a lot, like you feel irritation in your throat. But from the cold or the the bacterial cold, you will feel like you will just hurt stomach. So just like you have some sore throat, but you don't cough that much. Slightly cough, mostly just your throat is swollen, and you may have some accident on like your throat and swollen throat, so some kind of like that, instead of coughing a lot. And the temperature, mostly it will go up to more than 38 degrees Celsius or 100.4 Fahrenheit. So yeah, mostly just like that. So this is how you simply differentiate between having a virus cold or pharyngitis. So this one we have some kind of tools that evaluate. We call that Centaur score, CENTORSCORE, Centaur score. So if you want to check it out, you guys can just search it on the internet, and it will tell you like, it depends on the age, and well, if you have something like the tonsillitis, or swollen like throat, or your lymph nodes start to get larger and larger, and temperature and cough. So that really all included. But what I really concerned about is these days. Like every single person that worked on the medical thing is like are really concerned about is called, about the antibiotics used. This one is also from CDC, which is called Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So since using antibiotics can cause to some antibiotic resistance, this is the really really severe problems that happen these days, because people just use antibiotics randomly, and then that causes the way that those kind of bacteria go against the antibiotics that have been used. Since using antibiotics, you have to have a period of time to cure the symptoms. For example, like if you just get sick by pharyngitis, it's probably gonna take amoxicillin, which is the name of a drug in this antibiotic things, for 10 days. And most of the people would get better after they take this medicine for just 3 or 4 days, and they just stop using the medicines without continuing until it's 10 days. And that causes antibiotic resistance. That which means like next time you try to use the same medicine on the same symptom again, it won't completely cure your symptoms, because the bacteria can resist the drugs, because you didn't go like the fully course of how to treat the symptoms. And the bacteria will just have that kind of resistance to resist the drugs again. So that means like if next time you have the same symptoms again, you have to use another kind of or another type of antibiotics which has kind of like higher power. Is that the right term to say this? Like higher like potential to just completely treat the symptoms. And that lead to something that is very severe. For example, you have to think about like if you have to go to the hospital, if you have to do maybe some big surgery, and you have to use the antibiotics, but the only antibiotics that you can use is the thing that you have to use in the previous, maybe just like 10 years ago, but it's already resisted like in your body because you didn't take the full course of this medicine before. So I'm sorry. You're probably gonna wake up right now. I'm sorry for that. Okay. Okay, let's continue. So you cannot use this drug to treat your symptoms, which means like you cannot get treated. You just die alone? Maybe? I'm not sure. So that's the problem that we're really concerned about how to use antibiotics. Okay. So that's why every single time that you have the symptoms, make sure that don't buy the medicines by yourself. Just try to go to see a doctor, go to the pharmacy, or basically just try to heal yourself by yourself using just taking a lot of rest. All right. So that was the first thing that we're really concerned about it, just like I told you guys. So make sure to just use the drug properly whenever you have the symptoms, instead of just use it and just buy it randomly. So that was it for talking to you to sleep. I didn't know that it would be this hard, like just keep talking about random things, but I think that people might just like trying to prepare their script before trying to talk for long hours. But for me, trying to talk for long hours is kind of like a bit hard. But maybe next time we can try to talk about other things, that it's about things that I can just go over, like brag over, which I'm not sure like what I want to talk. But basically I just think, okay, let's talk about this, maybe continue until it's like 20 minutes. So basically I just think like if people really want to try to do something, they should just do it. Right, this one is also like conflict between myself. Like, okay, I want to try to do this. I just love planning a lot. I'm just like a planning person, just like just keep planning the things that I want to do, but I never really did. And I just, this is the thing. One of the thing that I just could think of, last night, and I just tried to do it today. Which I'm not sure there will be people who listen to this or not, because this is just the first time that I try to do this one. I'm sorry if I just talk, randomly about this thing and my English is not good. I just keep talking back and forth, and maybe you just, listen to this and you're probably gonna laugh along the way, and that's okay too. But just try to go to sleep. So maybe next time we can talk about the melatonin. If you have heard about it, it's some kind of like the chemical in your brain that helps you to go to sleep. And they say they have some kind of like jelly or the medicine that you use for sleep if you have some insomnia. Oh, I think it's kind of interesting. We're gonna talk about the insomnia thing, about the medicine that treated insomnia and the types of insomnia, how like categorize insomnia, and the drug that used it has to cure the medicine, no, not cure, like cure the chemical in your brain, which means that you're gonna have some side effects on your brain. And I think that melatonin is not officially officially legal here in Thailand, but it's legal in another country. So it really depends on the country that if you want to buy melatonin, like how many milligrams that you should start, because there are just 2.5 and 5 milligrams. Like if you use the higher dose, if you cannot sleep, then what should you do next? Should you take the medicine that is for insomnia? But the medicine that you take for the insomnia is probably going to be the same that you use to take for some kind of like this psychotic thing, like psychotic patients. So yeah, and there are a lot of side effects for that, because it's changing your chemical in your brain. So you might act differently. You may have some kind of, we call that positive moods and negative moods. So make sure before you decide to take any medicines, be prepared for any side effects. Side effects is a thing that we cannot prevent from the medicine, because that medicine is made, and then the side effects of the mechanism of that medicine react to your body is differently in each person. So one person might have the higher side effects of nausea and vomiting, and other person might not have any symptoms at all. So that's how it works. Alright, so we're going to talk about this again in the next one. If people listen to this and they fall to sleep, yeah, don't get too excited, just go to sleep. It's time to go to bed right now. Alright, I'm going to see you guys again next time. Good night.